Welcome to Socially Unfiltered,
That's the sleaziest tactic I have ever heard.
I cannot believe they would say that to you.
an open discussion all about social media, entrepreneurship, pop culture, and everything in between.
We're just some DIY girlies.
It costs $0 to support your friends.
You'll go on deep dives and doom scrolls with your hosts, Lex and V, to uncover the stories behind the headlines and look at everything through an unfiltered lens.
I want to relive the 2000s.
Not the trauma dumping on a Monday.
So grab a drink and get ready for a lot of yapping. Don't worry, there's no quiz at the end.
Strategy is such a buzzword.
English isn't my first language, so that's my excuse.
This is the Socially Unfiltered Podcast.
So over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
One day we'll be healthy again.
Yeah.
Healthy and thriving.
By the end of this month, maybe. Hopefully.
I mean, preferably by April 29th. But
I know. 1 month until we are
literally 1 month to the
Beyond.
day. To the day. That's
crazy.
insane. How do you feel? Are you ready? How do you feel?
I feel very excited. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be with you again.
I know. I can't wait. The night before is going to be so fun.
Oh my God, I know. I'm so excited.
It's going to be hard to like contain the excitement the night before, I feel like to not like want to just like woohoo, you know.
No, literally. I'm like,
Like
I
we're
need
gonna
to
put
really.
ourselves to bed at like 9 p.m.
Literally, I'm like, somebody tell me to mix it in water.
Yeah. We'll bring liquid. Don't worry, the hangover kits will be coming.
Oh yeah, I still have mine. It's in my bag. She's
Same.
coming.
Same. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I have literally so much shit from those bags left over that I'm just going to throw it all in a bag and give it to you guys for Alexia's.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like I literally have so much left over because I tried to like do it
Yeah.
all like evenly dispersed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna
No, there
throw it
was
all
like
in my
so
bag.
much good shit, and I used like literally everything because of the
But
flu.
not the lotion. The lotion was not spray tan approved.
Not the lotion. Not the Dove.
Not the Dove lotion. Not scented. My bad. Sorry, I was just going with what Amazon gave me an 8-pack of,
Yeah,
and that was the first
literally.
one that came up.
I know that's the one thing. There's 9 of us for her bachelorette, so it'll be like funny to
Mm.
have to do like 9 things.
Mhm. Yeah, 8 was a good number to find things
Mhm.
for, but there was a lot that was like in packs of 6, so I was like, I have to get 2, and that's why I have so many like extras of everything.
Yeah.
Some of them were packs of 12, so I had so many left over.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Literally keep you all thriving throughout your
Safe.
Charleston.
I know.
dancing.
I can't wait to
time.
be back in Charleston.
Yeah, what a time.
Yeah, I'm so
Random.
excited.
Mhm.
I know, I can't believe how that worked out. I'm like, we're going to Charleston.
I'm excited for you guys because it is a really fun place to have a
Yeah.
bachelorette party.
Yeah, it'll be cool to like be downtown and explore.
Yeah, and your house is so cool.
Yeah, their house is sick.
Yeah, you'll have an amazing time. So yeah, I get to see you in a month for your wedding, and
Mhm.
then
2 months after that.
we're gonna have a little summer. God bless me, it's summer.
And then maybe you'll come here early fall.
That's what I'm thinking because weather will be
A
great.
little September action.
Things will have slowed down. I'm gonna have to catch you before your Italy trip, but
Yes. September, baby.
that's when you're going.
Sing I remember.
That's the second time that I've heard that song today. That's
Really?
yeah. So a podcast I listen to, I'm a member of their Patreon where they do like 3 extra episodes a week.
Yep.
And they do one called Girl Dinner where they just talk about whatever they want and like bring all of their own topics. It's actually really cute. Cute idea, cute name.
Mm-hmm.
But they did one today called Mixtape where they both just came with a list of like their top favorite songs ever and just like went back and forth talking about them.
That would be so hard.
And that song was on their list as like a top like all-time favorite banger, I think was the actual category. But it's so weird. I feel like it's I love when stuff like that happens.
I know
When
that
like
is weird that I just
Right, when's the last time I heard about this song? And
Right.
then all of a sudden I've heard it twice in the last 2 hours? Weird.
That
What
is
is the world trying to tell me?
I know.
Something
So
about
glad
September?
September is a good time to come.
That's what I just
We
gathered
can
from
do
that.
updated brand photos. We
No, we
can
need to so bad. I, like,
go
wish that it wasn't so chaotic to try to do it while you were here, but I feel like
I
there's
know.
we can't.
I will be unwell.
You'll be recovering. I don't wanna spend a whole day doing that if we only
I
have
know. God
a
forbid
short
I
amount
get
of
sick
time.
again.
Literally.
We're not even gonna speak that actually. Do it
Yeah,
like,
we
let's
take that back.
take it back. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be summer. I feel like I
The
don't know.
heat kills it all. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah.
fine, and it'll actually be 115 when you guys are here, so
Awesome.
Charleston
I
summer.
can't wait.
Charleston summer. No, having the
Uh,
house with the pool is, like
I
and
know,
just,
that
like,
will save me.
time yeah, and time when you go, like, walk around, like, don't go at, like, noon,
Mm,
you know?
right.
Like, just go, like,
Yeah.
early morning or, like, late afternoon, and, like, by nighttime, it's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it's warm, but it's not daytime warm, so you guys will be fine. You're
Yeah.
gonna have a blast.
Yeah, we'll make the best of it, whatever
Have so much fun.
the weather may be. But yeah,
Who
I'm
knows?
excited. No, September I feel like would be like really good time because our weather's still good and then it starts slowing down here a little bit. And I think we really, for this time that you come, we have to go to that witchy spa.
Yes. Yeah, I wanna do that for sure. Hold on, I'm, like, literally writing this down to, like, not forget to revisit this topic, like,
Yes.
soon.
I like keep seeing them pop up and I think I sent you one the other day maybe on Instagram because it was like this is your sign to book a witchy spa day with your best friend. But yeah, we need to do that. I think one of the days for sure.
Yes, I love that. Love the idea of that.
Just see where the moon cycles are at in September.
That is a great idea.
Revisit that. Okay, and then maybe in the winter we go all inclusive.
A tropical vacation.
And by then, I hope I'm rich.
Well, I literally was just gonna say these are very ballsy plans that we're making for 2 girls who are, not
But at least
exactly, like,
2 of
fully
them, we
employed.
don't have to pay for a place.
Mhm.
So, well, I
Mhm.
guess I kinda have to I do have to pay for a place when I'm in Charleston for the first half, but
That's a little bit different. That's
for
an expense that's outside of our control.
yes, exactly, but the other ones, you know, girl math, just paying for flights. Points.
Honestly, I think I do have a ton of points built up on a bunch of cards right now.
Yeah, we just booked, like, one way to our honeymoon, and it paid for half of
Mhm.
the trip or whatever because of our points, and I'm like, "Thank God." That was, like, $700 of points, and now we're continuing to build to book the other flight.
Well, we'll get to the return flight at a
They're
later
so yeah, they're so expensive to especially, like, the flights home from Rome to Boston, for some reason, it's, like,
way more.
exponentially. It's, like, $1,600 a person. I'm like,
Oh,
"Mm,
wow.
I will stay there, actually."
I actually live in Rome now.
Yeah.
Sorry, never coming
Oui.
back. Oui,
Not
oui.
even grazie.
No, I think that was French.
I feel like Nicki Minaj. Oui. Yeah, that was French. Whatever. I'll learn.
Whatever. French, Italian, tomato.
Duolingo,
Who
hit me up.
cares? Literally, you could do a partnership with them. Here's the story of how I got stuck in Italy after my honeymoon, and Duolingo helped me learn Italian so I could live here.
I do remember there was
Hit
this
up the
couple that
bird.
I know that thought they booked their flights home from their honeymoon and they didn't. So they literally
What?
had to like scurry last minute and pay so much money to get home.
I would literally stay at that point, I think.
I know. I was like, oh God, I would literally stay another month and then wait.
Yeah, wait for the price to go down.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
I hear stuff like that and I'm like, sometimes I think I'm like way too type A, and then I hear
Mm.
stuff like that and I'm like, no, I would have checked that 46 times, and
No,
that is
right.
just something that would never happen to me. I'm sorry that
No,
that happened to them. It just
no, I don't think
reminds me
that would ever
sometimes
happen to me either.
just reminds me that sometimes my craziness isn't as crazy as I think I am.
I literally saw something the other day and I related so much to it that it was like, I'm type B, but like if I'm surrounded by other people who are like very type B or type C, like I
Mhm.
become type A because I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, shit needs to get done. And then I
Somebody's
can,
gotta step up.
yeah, so I can like get out of that and become
Yeah.
type A and like get shit done. But if I'm around a bunch of type A's or like I have type A's around me, I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like I can just chill.
And I feel like I'm
Nothing
kind of
cares.
the same way, like, when I'm around people that are type A, like, I am capable of not having anything to do with what's going on. I just need
Uh-huh.
to know that somebody else is doing it or I'll panic about it.
And I find it more fun to do it for like other people. Like with
Mhm.
Alexia's, like, I'm having, like, so much fun helping plan this stuff,
Right,
where, like, for my stuff, I'm like, "I don't care, like, I don't wanna plan it." Like, I
right.
just
Somebody
it's
else.
I guess it's also different, like, doing stuff for other people than doing stuff for yourself. It's the same way of, like, I don't know, doing balloons or, like, doing
Right.
decor, like, it's just different doing it for
Mhm,
someone else because it's more of, like, a
mhm.
standard, I feel,
Yeah, but
than
even, like, social media, like, I
yeah, social
don't
media.
mind doing it for other people, like, when it comes to
Yes.
doing it for myself, I'm like, I just, like, don't even
I
but I
know.
also think it has a lot to do too, like, with what you're doing with Alexia's, like, I'm assuming she probably hasn't seen all of
No.
it, so it's, like, also you knowing, like, "Oh my god, like, this person gets to, like, look at this and see this for the
Yes.
first time." When you're doing it for yourself, you're like, "Okay, cool,
Mhm.
like, I just watched
I
this
already
whole
know.
thing
Yeah.
happen." Yeah, like,
Mhm.
nothing's a surprise to yourself.
Speaking of social media and content, stop yapping and get into our episode for today.
Sorry.
This is a fun one all about content creation. Is everything content? Just boundaries and
Mhm,
just like how to handle social media and
mhm.
people in your life that follow you on social media,
Mhm.
etc., etc., etc. Let's get started.
Mhm,
First up.
and we have definitely talked about this before, like, I don't know if we've ever made this, like, a whole episode, but I can imagine that I know maybe some of my opinions on some of this stuff have
Yeah.
definitely changed, like, I know for sure there is video, audio, posted proof of me at some point saying everything is content, like,
Yeah.
you can turn everything into content. I have definitely said that before.
Yeah.
However, I think that's a very broad statement. I do not stand by that 100%, and I think this is a good opportunity for us to talk about that and
Mhm.
where we kinda draw the lines with that and what we mean by everything is content and not that you need to be, like, following yourself around with a phone 24/7 or the person at the wedding when phones aren't allowed who's, like, sitting with your
Mhm.
phone, like, there's boundaries to it, of course.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about it. What do we talk about first?
Yeah, I think we can go off of is everything content. I feel like that can also be like very situational. Like for a
Mhm.
business owner, things going on in the business, like everything could be content. But for like a content creator or like a lifestyle person, like is everything content? Like should you share
Mhm.
your entire life and like what parts do you keep private? What parts do you share? I feel like everything shouldn't be content and I feel
Mhm.
bad when I see people like feeling like they have to post things because everything is content. Like, for example, Emily Kaiser just had her
Mm.
baby, and I think she felt like she had to share this very personal, intimate moment. Like, she posted right away, right after she had her baby, like an entire
Mhm.
vlog of like the birth and like
Mhm.
so many special moments that she didn't even have a second. Now she's still continuously vlogging, like day one, day two, like everything with her new baby, and I just can imagine how overwhelming that is to, like, feel
Mhm.
like everything is content and, like, you can't have a day and maybe she doesn't even want to, like, again, maybe she doesn't wanna have, like, time or, like, a day or to not vlog, maybe it's, like, taking her mind off things or, like, helping
Mhm.
her, and so I'm not, like, judging by any means, like, she's
Mhm.
a big content creator and people are following her life for a reason,
Mhm.
um, and obviously it pays the bills, like, that is her job. But
Wait,
it's
wait, 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 not to interrupt you. Did you see the clip that's going around of Paige DeSorbo, and she's like, "The fellow girly that likes to be horizontal, what got you out of bed today?" She's like, "The paycheck." Like, just so bland. Like, that
No,
is
literally.
so relatable and so funny.
Mhm.
But, again, not to interrupt you, yes, obviously money is like a huge factor in it, but exactly like this entire situation with her is the complete opposite of what we mean by like everything is content. When we say everything is content to like a business owner, we're like, no, when you're literally like checking your emails in the morning, like people
Yeah.
are interested in seeing what you're doing
Yeah,
through your
packing
day.
orders or like
Yeah, like we mean the little like mundane things, not
Mhm.
like, oh my God, your baby's up at 3 a.m. for its
Right.
midnight feeding. Well, that made zero sense, but your baby's up in the middle of the night for their
Just to
middle
let you
of the night feeding. And you don't need, like, have you seen the videos that are like, my baby's having such a hard time going back to sleep in the middle of their feedings? And it shows them with like
a bright
a
ass
ring
fucking light.
light. Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well,
I'm like,
duh,
they're
your
on
baby
stage
thinks
right
it's
now. Like,
dawn.
they are they're performing on stage, okay?
Yeah, I actually had talked to one of my friends who is a mom about my opinion on this and have yet to respond to her response. Jess, friend of the pod, if you're listening, we love you so much. But she's like my go-to for like if I have a question about like parenting or like even the Chapel Roan situation, like she's somebody that I just would love to talk to about like mothering things because obviously neither of us are. Snooze situation with the bassinet, do not get me wrong. I think the way that Snoo like responded to everything was horrible and should never have been harassing this new mother to
Mhm.
give this bassinet back after she just lost her child. That's horrendous behavior on their end. However, like backtracking from how Snoo reacted about it, like why are we contracting newborn babies to content? Like it's
Right.
weird that we are even living in a world
Mhm.
where a baby brand would be reaching out to a pregnant mother saying, "Hey, I know this baby is still cooking in your womb, but
Mhm.
can we book them for a shoot in this
Right.
bassinet
Yeah.
after?" Like it's just crazy to me that like these
Yeah.
insanely intimate times in people's lives are being turned into content. However, Jess also gave me a great perspective on this about another conversation. This was like a long time ago. She was like, TikTok was one of the most helpful resources that I had available to me when I was pregnant, before I was
Right.
pregnant, as I became a mother. Obviously, I agree with that and do not ever want to see. Again, I've never been in that situation, so I don't know. I've never had to use TikTok for that information. I would hate to see an educational resource like that go away. I know how much
Mhm.
I've learned on TikTok, not about being a mother. I can only imagine how
Dog
helpful it is.
stuff, I definitely have learned a lot for
Oh, I've learned
many.
so much on TikTok. I'm just not exactly seeking out the mothering
Yeah,
content,
no.
but I know there are a lot of people that do, and I would hate to see, again, I know this kind of like goes off into a separate conversation of like should children even be in content, which we have obviously talked about, but
Mhm.
just backtracking, like to me, it's weird to accept this bassinet knowing that it requires you to pop this kid out and then immediately take a photo of them in it. I just think that's
Yeah.
a weird time to commit content to. That's just my personal opinion.
Mhm.
However, I'm praying to God I'm not canceled like Chapel Roan for saying that because
No.
again, snooze behavior was disgusting. Like they can afford to let this fucking bassinet go. They can afford not to let this
Mhm.
mother have to worry about it. Like I don't care if you're offering a courier service to come pick it up, call it a loss, eat the money and be done with it. Let this mother
Right.
grieve. However, why are we even in this situation? And that's not to victim blame the
Mhm.
mother saying she should have never done it, just in general. How did we get here in this day and time and
Mhm.
age where newborn babies are being contracted to content shoots? I just think it's crazy. I just think it's
It is
crazy. Sorry, I know
crazy.
that goes off into like a whole separate conversation. Sorry, I just went on a whole rant, but like at what point is it too much? Like it's too
Yeah.
intimate, it's too close. Like I don't know. I just personally would
Mhm.
never do that.
Yeah. And it's just, like, hard to envision, and again, this is why, like, this is just coming from 2 random ass fucking girls who are
Yeah, what
just
do I
giving an
know?
opinion at the
Literally
end of the
nothing.
day, and it do you, but, like, it's just hard to envision, I guess, because we're not in that position, and
Mhm,
we're not making money off of social media and, like,
mhm.
our life, and I think it just leads into, like, parasocial relationships. Like, I think so many people think they know these creators and these influencers because of how much they share and, like, the way they
Mhm.
talk to the camera, like, they're, like, it literally feels like you're on a FaceTime with the person,
Right.
so it's just like, y I do know them, and they're such a great person and blah, like, you have 0 idea what
Mhm.
this person is actually like, because that is probably 20% of their day. Like,
Mhm.
yes, they're showing clips throughout their whole day, but, like, that is a 10-second clip you saw of an hour
It's a
interaction
production. No
probably.
matter how you
Right.
look at it, it's a production in
Yeah,
one
it's
way
all
or the other.
storytelling, and it's I
Yeah.
mean, even, like, reality TV shows, it's the same thing. Everything's edited, everything's chopped up, like, there is no live camera on their entire day, so I just think it's
Mhm.
so weird when people become so attached and, like, so
Mhm.
involved in people's lives, like, even with, like, Emily, for example, like, just all these
Mhm.
videos of people being like, "She had her baby, didn't she? Like, what's the baby's name?" Like, blah, 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 and they just go off and, like, stalk, and it's crazy, and I think
Mhm.
that, like, almost puts pressure on the person to be like, "Well, I have to post for them now because they're dying to see the
Mhm.
baby, they're dying to know the name, they wanna see the birth,
Mhm.
like, they wanna see everything," like, it's just, like, it is so much, and I think people think they know people just from
Mhm.
social media, and I'm like, this is a scary slope, because then if they do one thing wrong, it's those same people that turn on them and cancel them and are like, "I thought you're not who I thought you were," and, like, get so upset, and I'm like, "Yeah, you never knew them in the first place." Like,
Mhm.
you can't be upset that this person is showing true colors or whatever, like, you don't know them, and it's so crazy to me that people just have these, like, they hold these like, real people to such
Mm.
high
Yeah.
expectations and standards, and it's like, you don't even know them. It's scary, and we're just, like, not meant to know everything about
Mhm.
everyone's lives and all the news and what's going on across the world, and I think it's just, like, great that we have so much content and, like, the readiness and the, like, availability to know, but at the end of the day, I think it's also so harmful to us just, like,
Mhm.
having a flood of information, like, even yesterday, like, I was just, like, so overwhelmed with just
Oh, I
social
get
media in general and just, like, I don't know, there was a lot of hormones going on, I think, yesterday too, but, like, it just, like, seeing stuff and, like, really terrible things and, like, really scary things and
Mhm.
traumatic things that are happening, like, all over the world, and I just think it's so overwhelming, and I think there's, like, we can see it in real life as well, like, I think we notice, like, people have a lot of anxiety, people are very, like, rude almost, like, to each other. I think people are more, like, not friendly, and they're just, like, irritated all the time, and I think it's because
Mhm.
we're just seeing everything all the time, and that
Mhm.
creates so much, like,
Mhm.
anxiety and, like, these feelings of, like, overwhelmment and then, like, anger in us, and I think we lash out against the people around us, and I've just noticed it so much, and I think it's all because of, like, content, social media, like, being on all the time and, like,
Mhm.
seeing so much that it's just,
Mhm.
like, I think it's affecting everybody, and it's, like, really scary to think about, and
Yeah.
I hate it, and I don't think we're meant to know everything going on all the and not to say, like, we should be blind to everything and only be in our own
Right.
bubble and, like, not know the bad things and, like, what I'm not saying, like, be blind and put your blinders on to things, like, obviously, we do need to stay updated and, like,
Mhm.
understand what's going on, but I
Yeah,
think
but, like, your nervous system doesn't
oh
need,
my
like,
god, no, it's
Aaron
not
Parnas's breaking news video every 3 minutes when you're on TikTok.
right.
It just doesn't. I mean, am I gonna unfollow him? Probably not. I love it, but
Yeah.
I it does very much I can
Yeah,
sense the hormones being released that make my body go into fight or flight, like, as I'm watching his
yeah.
videos. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think so much of it has to be on you, like, to put those boundaries up, to not give in to, like, the temptations of the
Mhm.
new thing, the next thing. We just talked about this before recording too, like, how people are always like,
Oh,
"Oh, I'll
yeah.
be happy when I get this many followers. I'll be happy when I get this new thing. I'll be happy when I get this new house." And it's like when you're constantly chasing that, you are literally
Mhm.
never going to enjoy where you are.
Mhm.
And it's just a sad way to live. Like, we have one life, and, like, to think that you at one point wanted something, like, you wanted this, and then now
Right.
you have it and you're like, "On to the next thing, on to the next thing. Oh, this
Yeah.
workout set I worked so hard for," or, like, "This bag I worked so hard for," and then you get it, and it's like, it doesn't fulfill
Mhm.
you because you're on to the next thing that's gonna make you happy, and I feel like
Mhm.
creating content is the same thing. It's like you're creating this content that maybe you're passionate about, and you're like, "Oh, well, I only got this many likes. Like, I'll be happy when I get this many views. I'll be happy when this many
Mhm.
people buy my stuff that I linked or whatever. It's just like, yeah, everything just you get to a burnout because you're realizing like, what is this all for? Like, you're not going to be
Mhm.
happy if you're just constantly chasing after the thing that doesn't actually make you happy or fulfill you. It's just like
Right.
another vanity metric. And
Yep.
it's sad. Like, I just think a
Yeah.
lot of people are falling into that because of the pressure on social media and because of the way that you think you know someone. Again, the parasocial relationships. Like, you see
Mhm.
this workout influencer, you see this, like, I don't know, beautiful model that, like, is wearing all these amazing clothes and you wanna be them, and you
Mhm.
slowly are just, like, losing parts of yourself because you're trying to become this person. And I get it also, like, at the end of the day, like, you have to, like, be the person you
Yeah.
genuinely want to be, like, start acting like the person that you want to be,
Mhm.
but at what cost to, like, losing yourself?
I think it goes into like two very important questions. One is, would you be doing what you're doing
Mm,
if you couldn't turn it into content? So,
right.
like, do you really need to buy, like, okay, my kitchen pantry needs to be organized. Could I go in there right now and do it and purchase 0 things? Like, there's
Yeah.
a way for me to make my pantry more efficient without having to purchase anything. But and I say all of this is like maybe sometimes I'm also a little bit victim to this, but like,
Yeah.
do you then need to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy this and I'm gonna buy that and I'm gonna turn it into a video and I'm gonna do it this day and I'm not just gonna like organize the pantry in 30 minutes. Like it turns into a whole thing.
Mhm.
Um, I very much try to like only like I'm thinking like the closet app was one of those that like could I have just done that and like not said anything? Yeah, but like I thought that was like such a cool thing that I was like I'm gonna like
Mhm.
document this process. But when it like I made nothing from that. That wasn't me pushing anything. You couldn't buy anything, but
Yeah.
like when you start thinking of it as like, okay, I'm going to buy all of these containers and I'm going to buy these organizing tools and blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm going to turn it into content. I can link everything from my Amazon store. Like, would you still be doing what you're doing if you couldn't turn it into content and link all of your products? Another huge thing that I keep seeing right now is have you seen this train that everybody is like going to like Dubai or somewhere to like I have no idea. I'm not
No.
even gonna try to, like, give specifics. If I can find it, I'll send it to you after, but it's this, like, coal train that people are literally, like, going to the, like, middle of nowhere desert and paying this crazy money for these people to, like, drive them out to where they know the train, like, stops for a second. You have, like, 30 seconds to jump on the train, and then the whole thing is, like, you're just riding the top of this train, like, through the desert, and, like, the videos are crazy of it, don't get me wrong, but, like, it's dangerous, like, like,
What?
it's just not something that you need to be doing and, like hold on, now I have to send you one or show it to you because it's just not gonna hit the same if
The
I don't
Dubai
show it.
train?
I don't know if it's in Dubai, hold on. Okay, it's the iron ore train in Mauritania. Like, what you're watching is, like, the purpose of the journey, right? But you go through this like crazy like experience to getting on top of this train and then the payoff is that like you get this crazy view. However,
Oh, it's literally coal.
no, it's literally a coal train. Like I'm not kidding.
Bro, what?
Hold on because now that we're talking about this, I have to send you the other one. And these like this is literally what I think of on this topic because
What the fuck? I
like
thought you meant it was like you jump inside the train.
oh, no, 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 no. No.
What?
And you're there, like, you use the bathroom on the top of this because 'cause you're on the train for, like I'm gonna mess this up, but it was, like, 8 to 12 hours, like, somewhere in that range, like, you like, when you get on top of this train, you are on top of that train until the train stops, like, 12 hours later.
What? 12 hours?
Yes.
You're fucking
Hold
kidding.
on.
What the fuck?
You're like and do you see, like, what the guy's wearing? Like, you have to, like, literally cover your body because you're getting, like, hit with sand and, like, there's, like, the iron ore, like, metal is, like, going into your lungs, like, it's I get and it's not the same as, like, hiking Mount Everest, it's not the same as, like, skydiving or cliff jumping. It's not like I get that it's something for like the exhilaration and the rush and the adrenaline, like, and the view, I mean, is incredible. It's not to say that it's not, but like, if you couldn't post this video on TikTok, would you still go through this? There's one, I found a girl that documented their entire process, like, of getting onto the train. I'm gonna have to find it.
This is insane. Well, people be doing crazy shit. Maybe for the content, maybe for the experience, but would they be doing it if they didn't take content of it? Would they be sitting on top of a coal train if they weren't going to capture it? I don't know.
Right. So, like, at what point, like, again, don't get me wrong. I think it's fun to document certain things. And, like, obviously, if you're doing this once in a lifetime thing, you're going to want to document it. But it's such a weird line between, like, something as small as cleaning out your pantry. Like, do you need to turn that into a whole piece of content and, like, force yourself to spend money on all of this new stuff, or like this train? Like, again, I get it's a once in a lifetime thing. I think a lot of people are missing like the passion for things, and they're just
Yeah.
doing it to be performative. Like with the train, I just pray that all of the videos I've seen of it are people who genuinely wanted to check that off of their bucket
Right.
list, not just be like, this would go viral on TikTok if we could
Yeah.
ride this train. Yeah. So anyway, now that I've complained about probably everything I could possibly complain of for the last
I know. I know what. Oh, I feel like it also can go into like, are you posting for the validation of it? Or are you
Mhm.
posting because you genuinely enjoy creating content? I mean, there are so many reasons why people post, like,
Mhm.
they need a confidence boost, they wanna help someone, they want to entertain, they need that validation because they are not fully confident in themselves, and, like, they are looking for that outside, like, perspective and engagement and, like, reassurance that what they're doing is, like, good and it's gonna keep them on that track to, like, keep going because they're receiving the
Mhm.
validation from social media, but, like, take all that away and, like, if are you really, like, happy with yourself, and are you enjoying
Mhm.
making the content? Because I think another part of it is, like, people aren't enjoying the process, or, like, they don't wanna make the content, it feels like a chore to them, and it feels like
Right.
work, but you're never gonna make it, I think, when it feels that way to you, because you actually have to genuinely enjoy what you're doing to be consistent
Mhm.
with something. It's just I think a lot of the time, it's a lot of posting for the approval of others and the validation of others.
Yeah, and we've talked too about how like nothing rubs me, again, let me just see how much I can complain about in this hour episode. It, like, nothing grinds my gears the way that, like, when people are posting, "Oh, this post did so bad," like, "Oh, I was gonna post this, but I which one would you guys rather see?" Like,
Yeah.
I just hate reading that it sounds like you were only doing this piece of content for the validation of others and not
Yeah.
something that you genuinely wanted to make or post, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, even just, like, constantly needing someone else's opinion on something,
Mhm,
like, stand by what you're choosing, and, like, if
mhm,
you like something or if you wanna post that piece of content, who the fuck cares? Like,
mhm,
post it, get it, do the thing, like, I think when you're like, it's like moving in silence, like, I think that's a huge part of,
mhm,
like, doing things and not having to talk about them, or, like, not having to
mhm,
show them all the time or brag about it, whatever it is, like, just fucking do the thing and, like,
mhm,
get it. If that is what makes you passionate and it's something you love, and if it's something you genuinely want for yourself, like, no one else's opinion should matter because it
mhm,
matters to you. But and I think so much of that gets removed once you start posting on social media, because you're becoming, like, a morph of, like, different people, like, the scrolling for inspiration, seeing what works, like,
mhm.
I think you're just slowly molding into, like, other people and, like, needing the validation from other people of what, like, performs the best and
Mhm.
what to buy and what's the best thing, and you slowly lose your actual values of, like, what you value, what you like, what you wanna do.
Right.
Like, it's just all about that validation, like, you need to validate yourself. And
Mhm.
yes, we're always gonna, like, ask our friends for, like, opinions on certain things, and, like,
Yeah.
I get, like, "What do you guys wanna see from us?" or "Ask us any questions," like, yes, you
Mhm.
can take those into consideration too, but I think when you're always, like, basing your life choices, your business choices, your content choices on the opinion of other people, you're never gonna feel, like, true to yourself because you're
Mhm.
constantly just, like, living to please these other people or,
Yep.
like, what their values are. Like, we're all gonna think different things, and we're all gonna like different things, and we're all gonna see things differently. Like, something you love, I might not like it at all, and something that I think looks good on me, like or, like, would look good on you might not look good on me. Like, it's just so everyone's different, and I think that's a good thing. But I think with social media, everyone's becoming, like, I mean, I fucking say as we're sitting here with our headbands
I
on and our
literally was just gonna say, I was like, we might need to stop because oops.
I can only bear this if somebody tells me it's okay, or,
Right.
like, I can only say this or do this thing if, like, I get it approved by somebody, and it's
Mhm.
like, you will literally never ever be independent, be your own person if you're
Mhm.
constantly looking for that validation from other people, like, do
Mhm.
what you wanna fucking do and stop second guessing yourself because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, you're not living for those people, like, you're
Mhm.
living for your life and what it's gonna make you happy.
Preach.
So, period.
No notes. Agreed with every single word. I'm
I
down
think
below.
it's also interesting with I mean, we've talked about this too, like, the people that watch all your stuff and that are, like, secret haters that because if someone is your friend and I don't give a fuck if they say they're not on social media a lot, they're not the people that interact, they're not the people that share stuff, and, like, they don't post, they just, like, don't use social media, whatever, like, I don't give a fuck if that is what your friend is telling you. If they are your friend, they're going to want to root for you, they're gonna clap for you, they're going to support you, they're not gonna think anything is cringy, you're not
Mhm.
gonna get a weird feeling that they're judging you or what you're posting, and I think a lot of the time it keeps people from posting because they're like, "Well, this person is, like, never interacting, they're not supporting me, they don't talk about it, they don't show any interest in what I'm doing, and they're just watching everything," and it's like, let me be so clear, that person doesn't like you.
Yeah.
If they are
I'm gonna
watching
hold
all
your
your
hand when I
shit,
say this.
like, point blank, there is no, like,
Mhm.
"Oh, well, maybe this," or, "Oh, they're not on social media," or, "Oh, they're
Right.
not no, they don't like you. Like,
Yeah.
if they're watching all your shit religiously and keeping up with everything, they don't like you, they just are nosy and wanna know your business so they can have something to talk about.
Mhm. And
So,
there's a
take it
difference
for what it
between, like
is.
yeah, well, and there's a difference between, don't get me wrong, I mean, I can't think of one any of my friends that have a business that I don't follow that business on Instagram, and, don't get me wrong, am I the target audience for every single post that every single one of them make? No. Do I see every single post? Not really, because I'm not scrolling very often these days, but I do make, a conscious effort to, if I see them in person, ask how it's going, and
Mhm.
again, we're not saying that it's like a gauge of how supportive you are to this person, if you're not interacting with their content, but there are
No, I think the
definitely
difference is
some
if you're seeing them watch all your stuff. Like, it's
exactly.
different if, like you said, I have friends too that, like, don't watch some of my stuff or, like, they don't
Mhm.
see everything, but I know, like, when they talk to me about it, when they, like,
Right.
text me, when we see each other in person, like, we are catching up on those things
Mhm.
and they make an effort. I just think
Mhm.
it's the people that are constantly watching never liking anything, like, I
Mhm.
think that is what is so sketchy, like, you don't actually support me, you're
Mhm.
just creeping and watching, and, like, I just think that gives such weird fucking energy,
Yeah.
and it says everything it has to, but I always see these videos, people are like, "I just, like, don't get it, like, why do they do this?" Or, like, "Why don't they like anything, but they're watching they don't like you. They're your
Yeah.
hater,
There's
they're your secret hater, and that should tell you
literally
everything, period." Like,
mhm. Period, point
there's
blank.
no other
Mic drop.
explanation unless they are not on social media and they're not watching all your shit, then they
Mhm.
truly wouldn't know, but, like, if you have someone that is religiously keeping up, they're always the first to watch your stuff. They're always seeing it and they're never ever
Mhm.
supporting you or sharing anything or liking anything or like bringing
Mhm.
up your milestones. They're preying on your downfall.
If they ask you how your little business is
Yeah.
going, they're not thinking that you even have a real business.
No, literally. Yep.
I mean, it's unfortunate that I think we have probably all dealt with somebody like that.
Yeah, literally just remove those people from access to your life, to your social
Mhm.
media. If like they're holding you back from not wanting to post what you want to post because you're afraid of like judgment or what they're going to think, it's like who gives a shit? Like this person is clearly not somebody you want to have in your circle anyway, and like you're not
Mhm.
posting for them, and that comes
Yep.
back to the validation thing. Like you don't need to post like what you think they'll like or what they'll approve of because it's never going to be something they enjoy and they approve of. They're
Mhm.
just going to keep being nosy,
Yep.
and it's those same people that follow influencers and are constantly liking their stuff, keeping up with their life,
Oh,
like
yeah, if I
obsessing
see
over them.
somebody if you are out here commenting on friggin' Kylie Pitts, whatever, like, telling her that her home is beautiful and you're
Yeah.
not even liking a story
And
I
you're talking
posted.
about them all the time and like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, they did this and they did
Yeah,
this and
no,
they
no,
have
no.
this, like,
That's way
new
different
thing.
than
I'm buying this because they shared it." Like,
no.
you're getting inspiration from these people, but you can't support your friend. Like,
Mhm.
that also I think shows you, like, they're interacting with these people who have no fucking clue who they are and
Mhm.
will never care about them, but they can't support you, shows you everything. Or, like, if people think it's cringy or cheesy that you're creating content, but they're following, like, these other big influencers, like, they started
Mhm.
there too.
Right.
And I think there's just, again, that parasocial aspect of, like, you knowing somebody and they start creating content versus you not knowing this person and you hold them at
Mhm.
such, like, a high tier because they already reached that level of
Well, they
success.
came into your life successful,
Yeah,
and
right.
it's I don't wanna say, like, it's human nature because I don't think this is just default for everybody, but, like, it is hard, I think, for people to watch
Yeah,
somebody who, like, basically is on the same level as them. It's hard for them to watch you again, not that you're, like, a higher level of
yeah.
society because you're a content creator, but, like, I saw this quote a long time ago, and it was like, "People don't wanna see people from the
I
same
was
place."
literally just gonna say this.
Yeah, like, whatever
I
the
was
quote
thinking this.
is, it's like, you don't wanna see people win when they're from the same place as
Yes.
you, like, because it just again,
Mhm.
not that I think that's, like, human nature, I think it just
Yeah.
I think we as, like, a society almost just have this view of influencers and content creators that they're, like, in this elite group and
Mhm.
are
Like,
so
separated
successful.
from real life.
Yes, and it's hard for us to imagine, I think, people we know stepping into that
Mhm.
world, and especially too because I think it's, um, like, it makes me sad almost when people, like, are first getting started, and whether it's, like, you see it from other people in their comment section or it's something that they're talking about and they're saying, like, who cares about your day in the life, like going to work, your 9 to 5 job, or like who cares about how you're cleaning your house this like it makes me sad when people are like, who do you think you are? Like you're a nobody. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Again, not that like I've ever personally dealt with being bullied that way or like it's just things that I see like in people's comments or like it just makes me sad that there's like this stigma that like people who do that need to be of a certain status. So it's hard
Mhm.
for us to imagine people we know starting to do that when in reality, quite literally everybody starts from zero on social media
Mhm.
unless you're like some form of like Nepo baby. Like it's, you know, but like it just makes me sad because, you know, I watch so many random like cleaning videos. They're like a
Yeah.
time lapse will pop up and I watch the whole thing and I never once am like, "Well, this girl's just a teacher. Like, I don't care what she's doing on a Saturday afternoon." You know? Like, it makes me
Mhm.
sad that people think, like, "Oh, I'm
Your
not of
content's not
this
for
status."
everyone though, and that's
Yeah.
okay. Like, you don't
Mhm,
have to watch it, but
mhm.
I also think it's like people don't care about your beginning and your journey. Like they
Oh,
only
yeah.
care when you're successful. Like once you
Mhm.
get to that following count, once you get to making like that money,
Mhm.
then they care. Then they're
Then
like,
it's
how did you do
real.
it? What did you do? But
Mhm.
they don't care about the process leading up to it. Like you're nothing until you actually are successful and you have
Mhm.
like all the vanity metrics. Again, like it's
Mhm.
all about the vanity metrics. So those people that may not be supporting you, like making your content or like starting your business, but the second you get successful, they like want something from you or like
Mhm.
want your services or are interacting with your content because they see that they can get clout from it. Like it's crazy. But
And we have a list
yeah.
actually of people that we in the future when we're super big and successful, we know have supported us from day one. I'm
Yes.
just kidding. We don't actually have a list, but there's some people in my head that I'm like, I know you were here when we were getting 12 listens a
Literally,
week. Like
yes. I
literally.
know, I just got a text yesterday, it was from one of Mark's cousins, and she was listening to, like, wicked old episodes because she's a business owner, and she's like,
Mhm.
"I'm really needing to, like, get out of my head and, like, out of this burnout era and, like, how to s do self." Like, she's listening to the self-care episode for entrepreneurs, and then she
Mhm.
listened to another one, like, taking vacations as a business owner, and I was like, "That is so cool." Like, I had no idea that you listened and, like, cared
Yeah.
and went that far back to, like, find something that you're looking for, and, like, it is just cool seeing the people that make an effort, but, like, they genuinely want to. It's not to
Mhm.
just be like, "Oh, yeah, I'll listen to that," and, like, that's
Right.
happened before, and funny to see, like, random people that you didn't know were even, like,
Yeah.
listening or supporting, and then they're like, "Hey, listen to this episode and, like, da 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 da, and, like, this really helped me," or, like, "I love the perspective of, like, this, and this." I'm like, "Wait, that's so fucking cool." Like, it's because we don't see who's listening. We don't know what they're thinking
Yeah.
when they're listening to our episodes, so I think it's cool when people reach out and, like, let us know that something's helping them or, like,
Mhm.
that we help them through something and not even knowing the situation, like,
Mhm.
beforehand, not speaking to them, and all of a sudden they are, like, listening and supporting, and I think that's really cool and genuine.
Yeah.
So,
That's
that
a
means a
super cool
lot to us.
experience to, like, hear from some like, just somebody that you had no idea even
Yeah.
knew what it was, is like, "I was
Mhm.
listening to this episode." I'm like, "You were?
I
That's
know,
so
like, really?
weird." Yeah.
Yeah, no, it feels really good, and
It
we're
does.
just, like, happy to help one person, if at all, or entertain someone, or
Mhm.
inspire someone for whatever the fuck. I mean, who knows? Our headband, anyone want a match?
Amazon 3-pack. So, yeah. So, thanks for listening to what I feel like was me complaining for this entire episode, but we thought it'd be fun to just kind of touch on this because we are seeing a lot of it on TikTok right now, especially like Emily Kaiser's baby situation, I feel
Yeah.
like was a huge one recently. So let us know what you think. Let us know if you think any of our takes are right or wrong. Let us know if we forgot anything or missed anything. And we will see you back here next week. We love you.
Stay unfiltered.
Stay unfiltered, baby. Bye.
Bye.
In case you haven't heard from us enough today, come hang on Instagram at sociallyunfilteredpod.
Join our group chat to stay updated in between episodes by texting group to 833-459-3349.
Download the Social Media Manager Business Blueprint to start building your business today.
And last but not least, grab your official Socially Unfiltered merch from our Bonfire store.
You can find everything linked in the episode description below or at sociallyunfilteredpod.com.
We'll meet you back here next week, same day, same time. Bye.
Bye.